Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं गुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as Vesak Day on 1st May. Every year, Vesak, the day of the full moon in the month of May, is the most sacred day of millions of Buddhists around the world. It was on the day of Vesak 2.5 millennia ago, in the 623 BC, that Buddha was born, and it was also on the day of Vesak that Buddha attained enlightenment. And it was on the day of Vesak that Buddha, on his 18th year, passed away. So the General Assembly, by its resolution 54 by 115 of 1999, recognized internationally the day of Vesak to acknowledge the contribution that Buddhism, one of the oldest religions in the world, has made for over 2.5 millennia and continues to make to the spirituality of humanity. So this day is commemorated annually at the UN headquarters and often at other UN offices in consultation with the relevant UN offices and with permanent missions, which also wish to be consulted. So the teachings of the Buddha and his messages of compassion and peace and goodwill have moved millions. Millions around the world follow the teachings of the Buddha and on the day of Vesak commemorate the birth, the attainment of enlightenment and the passing away of the Buddha. A message from the former Secretary General, Javier Perez de Cuellar, to Buddhists on this day of Vesak in May 1986 reads, "For Buddhism everywhere, it is indeed a felicitous opportunity while commemorating the birth, enlightenment, and passing away of Gautam Buddha to celebrate his message of compassion and devotion to the services of humanity. This message is today perhaps more relevant than ever before. Peace, understanding, and a vision of humanity that supersedes national and other international differences are essential if we are to cope with complexities of nuclear age. So this philosophy lies at the heart of the Charter of the United Nations and should be prominent in all our thinking, especially during the International Year of Peace. Javier Perez de Cellular. So UNESCO is currently implementing project to develop a unique Buddhist heritage route for sustainable tourism development in South Asia with support from Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA. South Asia is a host to rich Buddhist heritage that is exemplified by the World Heritage properties across the region. Today is also commemorated as Kellen Mai on May 1st, also known as Kellen Half, is the annual celebration of the first day of summer in Welsh tradition, which is held as hinted at by the name on the first day of May. This is a significant day for celebration and festivities in Wales, as several superstitions and rituals dating back to Druidic times are still maintained to this day. May Eve celebration begin with bonfires the night before. Welsh Nos Galan Half is regarded as Rebrondos or Spirit Night, when spirits are out and about, making divination possible until the middle of the 19th century. South Wales had the annual practice of setting bonfires to commemorate this anniversary. Kellenmai is similar to Beltane and other May Day celebrations in Europe. Today is also commemorated as Agriculture and Labor Day on May 1st in Haiti and almost across the world, which takes place every May 1st. It's a day to celebrate and be thankful for everything farmers do to keep fresh food available. It's sometimes difficult to remember how fortunate we are to have access to crops, and we feel disconnected from the roots of our food when we see it all packaged up in supermarkets. Our Labor and Agriculture Day, we take the time to thank farmers who feed us. So since we became intelligent enough to cultivate, food, farming, and agriculture have played an essential role in keeping humanity alive. The act of farming can be traced back to Neolithic era. As far as we know, the Sumerians who had a farming labor force were the first to actively engage in large-scale farming. They also built irrigation systems to grow crops and follow a strict harvesting schedule throughout the year. Labor and Agriculture Day, that honors workers' accomplishments, is observed annually in the Republic of Haiti. In other countries, the holiday is known as the Labor Day or May Day. Its origins can be traced back to 8-hour day movement, which advocated for 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours of rest. In the 1800s, many workers were forced to work for over 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to make a living, leading to the formation of labor unions that organized strikes to improve working conditions. Many movements became violent, including the Haymaker Affair on May 4, 1886. It started as a peaceful labor protest rally advocating for the 8-hour workday near Chicago's Haymarket Square, but quickly developed into riot when a bomb was thrown at police. At least 7 police officers and 4 civilians were killed and many others were injured. The Haymarket Affair is widely regarded as the origin of Labor Day. Today is also commemorated as Buddha Purnima in India and Nepal and across the diaspora of Buddhist and Buddhist religion and its followers. So Buddha Purnima is on May 1st this year in India and Nepal, or May 19th for those in Southeast Asian countries. The date varies. May is two full moon days, and the Buddhist and the Hindu lunar calendars can be interpreted differently. Buddha's birth is celebrated as part of a festival called Vesak, which combines the three key events of this life: his birth, his enlightenment, and his death. So join us on a deep dive into the fascinating life of this profound spiritual leader. Buddha Purnima, also known as Buddha Jayanti, celebrates the birth of Prince Siddhartha Gautama, a Nepal prince 563 to 483 BC, who later went on to become known as Buddha. The founder of Buddhism, the word Purnima is Sanskrit for full moon, which explains why it is celebrated on a full moon day, and Jayanti means birthday. The word Buddha is given to those who attain Bodhi or wisdom, hence the name was ascribed to Siddhartha. Once he attained enlightenment, is a commonly celebrated during the month of Vaisakhi in Hindu Buddhist lunar calendars. However, Buddha followers never officially celebrated his birthday, though for many centuries festivals to honor Buddha were held. In fact, the celebration of Buddha Purnima was not formalized until modern times. It was It was only in May 1950 at the first conference of the World Fellowship of Buddhists in Colombo, Sri Lanka, that Buddha Purnima was officiated as a celebration during Vesak. It was agreed upon that day of the full moon in May would be auspicious due to Buddha attaining nirvana on a full moon day. The reason why Buddhism began to gain popularity was due to teachings of nonviolence, respect for life, and a more equal approach to the role of women. Concepts that were much in keeping with both tradition and modern ideas of progress. Thus, many countries around the world began to become primarily Buddhist nations, especially in Asia. Buddhism itself branched into subsects of each culture, adopted and assimilated the main tenets. Today, Buddhism is practiced in different forms all over the world and is especially inclusive because it does not celebrate any deities or other religions do. The philosophical bent of Buddhism gives its popularity across various groups of people. There is also commemorated as CSS Reboot Day on May 1st. Is spent going over web pages and applying fresh designs as well as cleaning up artifacts that may have been left lying around the site. Webmasters all around the world will simultaneously debut their web flashy redesigns, ushering traffic, attention, and renown to their sites. There are no arbitrary rewards or winners, just the promise of exposure and the knowledge that we all have been part of something amazing. Today is also commemorated as Executive Coaching Day on May 1st to celebrate the coaches who made our lives incredibly easy. Any business is incomplete without executive coaches. They are backbone of the business. Without their expertise and guidance, growth in the professional sector is a rocky road. Executive coaches ensure that we get the correct advice and guidance for professional and personal development. This enhances performance and contentment and makes life much easier in the corporate sector. Executive coaches have a deep knowledge of the world and help students create positive changes in their lives. Today is also commemorated as Frequent Flyer Day on May 1st in US. If we are a jet setter or someone who frequently flies across the US or all over the world, the day is for you. The Frequent Flyer is an incentive program that airlines have come up with a reward to a customer's loyalty. Whether you are traveling for business or pleasure, as long as you are registered to the program, you are in for a treat. Celebrate this day by enjoying all your perks from the points you accumulated from more air travel, class upgrades, and priority bookings to airport lounge access. And that's no better day to feel like a VIP than today. Today is also commemorated as Global Love Day on May 1st, dedicated to the spreading of love and peace to all mankind. Global Love Day is observed annually on May 1st. This day was created by the Love Foundation to encourage unity and celebrate humanity through unconditional love. The world would be much better place if we all showed a little more love to each other, and that this day is a big step in that direction. Today is also commemorated as International Sunflower Guerrilla Gardening Day on May 1st. Celebrated, add a splash to color to your neighborhood by sowing sunflower seeds. Participants are invited to grow sunflowers around their localities on the International Sunflower Guerrilla Gardening Day. People from places where it gets too cold for sunflowers to thrive may plant alternative seasonally appropriate plants. Gardening or territory over which the gardens have no longer rights is celebrated to guerrilla gardening. And guerrilla gardeners have a variety of objectives. For the majority of the time, they plant an abandoned or neglected property to make it more visually appealing in an environmentally friendly way. Today is also commemorated as Labor Day in Philippines on May 1st annually to celebrate hardworking Filipinos across the country. In Filipino, it is known as Ara Nagmaga Mangagwa. People in the Philippines relax and spend the day with their family and friends. At Malacang, the previous American governor's residence, now presidential palace. And in major cities like Manila, labor movements and parades are part of the celebrations. These activities draw attention to their complaints, which include the minimum wages, inhumane working conditions, and other issues that undermine the rights of employees. Every hardworking Filipino is celebrated on the day, no matter their job. Today is also commemorated as Learn to Ride a Bike Day on May 1st. Every year, one of the most exciting things getting a new bike or wanting uh, to learn how to ride one. While learning how to ride a bike may seem daunting, it is quite easy to get started as a child or an adult. Usually, training wheels are put on and they are gradually removed one by one. There is also a safety gear you can purchase and safety precautions that can be taken. After a while, you start pedaling afraid but smiling. You have finally learned to ride a bike. Today is also commemorated as May Day on May 1st in the US. Looking forward to celebrating May Day. May has different meanings for diverse cultures and countries. Today, specifically in the United States, as other countries, it is a celebration of the season of spring. We got the best tips to make sure that your May Day is one to remember. May Day is a public holiday celebrated on May 1st in many different cultures around the world. It is a day of unity, togetherness, and rebirth, a day for everyone to come together and celebrate life as we know it. Throughout the years and decades, there have been different meanings, festivities, and representations of May Day. The meaning of seasonal changes has been the most significant one amongst different countries. May Day is one of the four ancient Celtic cross-quarter days, making it an astronomical holiday as it falls between the March equinox and June solstice. Originating from its Celtic name, Beltane, and Beltane was a spring celebration that included dancing, singing, special bonfires, and house doors, and animals would be decorated with yellow mayflowers and ribbons. During this time, in various communities in Ireland, people would visit special wells and within you was believed to bring beauty and youthfulness to those around it. Today is also commemorated as Mother Goose Day on May 1st, as we swept back to memories of our childhood whenever we hear of Mother Goose Day on May 1st, from Humpty Dumpty's clumsy fall and the three little pigs scramble for houses to Pinocchio's elongated nose, fairy tales, and nursery rhymes endlessly entertained us as kids while providing us with important life lessons. Charles Perrault, a French author, is thought to have been the first writer to establish fairy tales as a separate genre in 1695. Fast forward a little further into the future, the Grimm fairy tales, which are published during the 19th century, have now become quite famous worldwide. Thanks to the Disney and Grimm fairy tales have become more child friendly, but originally they were gruesome in their details. In the original version of Snow White, her stepmother died after being cursed to dance in the glass hills forever. Today is also commemorated as National Black Barber Shop Appreciation Day on May 1st in US. It is a day to appreciate the importance of barber shops for Black people. The 19th and 20th centuries were a dark period for the Black people in America. The constant harassment, public humiliation, and discrimination made life a hardship for the most Black people in America. Slavery was abolished, but the scars of chains are still visible, and both sides remember how it used to be. Tensions were a common sight, and it took some eminent personalities like Martin Luther King Jr. to fight against the discrimination and bring an end to the dark ages. Let us see how the barber shops became important for Black people during these hard days. Today is also commemorated as National Low Pants Day on May 1st. The oldest pair of pants ever discovered by archaeologists are wool ones in Western China that date back more than 3,000 years ago. While these pants were typically worn during horseback riding over the years, pants have changed in purpose and material. From equestrian to labor and fashion purposes to wool and denim materials, distressed jeans are in fashion and every person has more than one pair. There is also commemorated as National Purebred Dog Day on May 1st in US. It honors the diversity and history of purebred dogs. Every breed in existence has its purpose. Some are bred for hunting game and guarding homes, and others for companionship. Herding cattle and emergency rescue, it's hard to imagine what would look like without our adorable four-legged friends. There are over dogs and pets on National Purebred Day. We celebrate purpose. There are service dogs, canine officers, military working dogs, and pets. On National Purebred Dog Day, we celebrate the purpose and bred poachers and their unique role they have played in helping humans throughout the history. There is also commemorated as National Space Day on May 1st in US. It was created to inspire all of us in pursuit of knowledge and progress. There's so much going on in the universe, it definitely deserves a day to reflect on everything. Though it's unlikely you will be able to celebrate. In outer space, you can still take part in your own corner of the universe with our defying facts, figures, and ideas for getting involved in this National Space Day. Never ending and ever ending space is celebrated on National Space Day, which takes place on the first Friday in May, that is May 1st this year. Today is also commemorated as New Home Owners Day on May 1st. Every year, there's nothing like the feeling of finally having the key to your dream home. Starting fresh and living comfortably for others, it's not just having a house to live in and a bed to sleep on, it's about achieving what you have been saving for years, calling the space your home and making new memories. It's a place where you can start a family, where your goods can grow, and where you can retire. The pride of finally having your own home is unprecedented and should be celebrated. Today is also commemorated as Save the Rhino Day on May 1st, 2026. Every year, globally, on a day centered around raising awareness of the rhino's plight in the world and highlighting ways to help the incredible animal. This day is especially important given that current devastating statistics. On average, one rhino is poached somewhere in the world every 22 hours. On this day, various animal rights organizations, non-profit companies, zoos, animal activists, and other concerned groups provide opportunities to encourage more rhino conservation efforts from people around the world. There is also commemorated as School Principals Day on May 1st in US, annually to recognize the importance of principals from elementary to high school and all the work they do for betterment of the school. There is also commemorated as Therapeutic Massage Awareness Day. Yearly on May 1st, we know the life can become very stressful and we all need a way to relieve stress, and there's no better way than Therapeutic Massage Awareness Day to take advantage of the many benefits these massages provide. Whether you have never experienced one before or get one regularly, consider massages a necessary element of your self-care and routine rather than a luxury that you can't afford to give yourself. Take advantage of the day and relax your gentle hands of massage. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. We thank each and everyone for being part of this and see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining into different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.